famine, drought, floods and war. Some leave their homes while others leave their whole life behind. Those who stayed now live in mourning. Despite all odds, Muslims around the world keep their faith with a small date and smiles around the dinner table. At the end of the day, the call for prayer unifies us, that soothes the heartache of grief and loss. Join the International Organization of Migration in Ramadan and help spread the joy of giving.
Welcome back, dear viewers. As a fact, IOM works to help ensure the orderly and human management of migration, to promote international cooperation on migration issues, to assist in the search for practical solutions to migration problems, and to provide humanitarian assistance to migrants in need, including refugees and internally displaced people. Specifically, the IOM office in Kuwait was established in 1991, and in 2017 the state of Kuwait joined IOM as an observer state. Since its establishment, the office has worked in close partnership with the government of Kuwait. Recently, we can't deny their efforts to horrible earthquakes of Syria and Turkey. Let's welcome Mr. Mazen Abu Hassan, Chief of Mission IMO, UN Migration, the earthquake IOM intervention. Definitely we are honored, Mr. Mazen, to have you here in Good Morning Kuwait. And first of all, earthquake, the IOM intervention. Can you please tell us how IOM is responding to the needs of people affected by the earthquake and the crisis in both countries?
Good morning and Ramadan Kareem, and thanks for having me in the show today. We have been active in Turkey and in the northwest of Syria for several years, and this allowed us to be very fast in providing and mobilizing all our resources to provide the humanitarian assistance for people in need. If you look at figure now, there is more than 2.3 million people who are displaced in Turkey.
Oh, 2.3 million.
Yes, 2.3 million according to the latest figure. And inside Syria and the northwest of Syria, there are more than 4.1 million of people who are in need of assistance. That's why our colleagues there were very fast in activating the program that we are providing. And mainly, we have reached inside Turkey, we have reached more than 1 million person in providing non-food items, blankets, let's say the mattresses, kitchen sets, and all those who were identified together with the government, because inside of Turkey we are working very closely with the government. We have been also providing shelter assistance, which has been identified as a main need for people who were displaced.
When you say with the government of Turkey and the government of Syria, so you have the resources, but you don't just respond by your plan. No, you just follow the government, for the area in the need. Is that correct?
Inside Turkey, all the work that we do is coordinated with the government, because the government is the one responding to the needs of the people, and the international community, including our organization, are supporting the efforts of the government in terms of health, in terms of protection, in terms of shelter, in terms of food support as well. In the northwest of Syria, also we work very closely with all UN agencies and all the partners to provide the assistance that is needed. And in addition to the earthquake, last 2 weeks there was also some of the raining and the flooding in the area, which made the things worse. And that's why we were among the first agency who were supporting the people who were displaced there.
Honestly, God, help these people, because frankly, after an earthquake, we have floods and, a lot of water and lakes, that's really bad, besides the cold weather. So let's speak a little bit about Kuwait and Kuwait support. How do you see the support of Kuwait for the survivors of the earthquake in Syria and Turkey
Kuwait was among the first countries who have responded to the immediate call that was done during the emergency in Turkey. They have sent the assistant, they have sent the rescue teams, they have sent also medical teams, and we have seen also the Minister of Social Affairs going there and meeting with the people and providing the assistance. On top of that, they have provided the United Nations with almost 90 million US dollar in order to provide assistance for all the people who have been affected. And this fund came from the state of Kuwait, but also from the generous contribution of the people of Kuwait. We shouldn't forget the very important campaign that happened, Kuwait by your side. Like within 12 hours, they were able to mobilize almost 67.7 million US dollars.
Wow,
so all this assistance was a pride for us here in Kuwait, and then it helped a lot of people who have been affected, and then now we are implementing all the programs according to the needs identified in the field, both in Turkey and in Syria as well.
Man, that's really amazing, and you know, we are really proud of, you know, our country, you know, how they responded, and the people when they start, you know, adding more money for that donation day. Definitely, thank goodness we still, you know, this has as a result of blessed, you know, alhamdulillah, people. So let's a little bit talk about the beyond the earthquake and displaced people and the need. In addition to Turkey and Syria earthquake, which humanitarian crises are most in need these days, honestly, and what IOM is offering there? Is it like Mozambique, Ukraine, Somalia?
If we look at the recent statistics that were published by the United Nations in the beginning of the year, there are almost 339 million people around the world who are in need of the humanitarian assistance.
Almost a third of a billion.
Exactly. So if you look at the percentage, one out of each 23 person is in need of the humanitarian assistance around the world. We as the International Organization for Migration, at least we are working in 42 countries that have certain kind of the crisis, either hunger or conflict or climate change impact. And if we look at the top 5 countries where we are providing assistance, we have Ukraine, we have the Horn of Africa, we have Somalia, we have Afghanistan, we have Pakistan. And unfortunately, there are so many countries that are not recognized, or like they are forgotten. And that's why we always need to shed the light that the needs is not about how many people are displaced or how many people are in need of assistance. Each person counts for us.
Absolutely.
That's why it's very important to always talk about the crises that have been forgotten, especially in the East Horn of Africa, in Yemen, in Afghanistan, in Pakistan. These are very important places that needs assistance, and then we are always calling for international support to provide assistance for these countries.
You know, definitely all that, you know, besides Africa as a continent, definitely there are many people in Africa. They lack food and shelter. You know, frankly, our prayers, you know, to them, to every single human being. We don't politicize, you know, a human being, either our brother in religion or our brother in humanity. This is what Imam Ali, peace be upon him, said. And I think this word or sentence or saying is in the United Nations, well known and posted there. So let's go to the holy month of Ramadan, Mr. Mazen. You know, any specific campaign or engagement of the IOM during the month of Ramadan, and how the audience can support this campaign, for example, in Yemen, Bangladesh, or wherever?
For the holy month of Ramadan, we have launched a global campaign last week, and this campaign is mainly targeting the Muslims in 5 countries, in Bangladesh, in Syria, in Yemen, in Somalia, and in Pakistan. People can visit our websites, campaigns.iom.int, and they can see how they can contribute. To give you a small example, with like 3 dinars, you can support a family for 5 days to provide drinking waters.
3 dinars?
For 3 dinars.
Allah.
For 10 dinars, you can support...
So if somebody donates 3 KD
yes.
To the organization,
we will make
Kuwait,
sure that a family can have water for 5 days. Similar with 10 dinars, they can also provide meal and nutrition for 5 days. So because the needs are enormous around the world, and a small contribution during the generous months of Ramadan can make a difference in the life of people. And we have selected these 5 countries because the needs are...
and they are, again, if you can just repeat that.
Somalia, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Yemen, and Syria.
Wow.
And then if they visit our social media also, they can see exactly what we are doing in these countries and how they can contribute to this global campaign as well.
That's really very noble, you know, frankly, you know, and within like what, like this is nothing, 3 KD or 10 KD, you know, this will produce like food and water for a family for 5 days. This is really amazing, Mr. Mazen. We wish you all the best, honestly. In Kuwait, is there any recent updates to the work of the organization?
Well, in Kuwait, we are always happy to collaborate with all the ministries. Recently, we had a very successful workshop on counter trafficking with the Ministry of Interior, and then we have 2 projects that we are discussing also on migration and development and labor migration. So the work is always ongoing.
That's nice. We wish you all the best, Chief of Mission of IOM in Kuwait, UN Migration, and you know, definitely our guest, Mr. Mazen Abul Hassan. It's really an honor to have you and to hear from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, and Ramadan Kareem to everyone.
Same to you. Ramadan blessed to you and to everybody. Dear viewers, we'll go for a break, and after that, I think we will have to wrap it up.
Well, that was really an interesting interview, especially at the role of the United Nations. Farid, it was really a wonderful role they have.
Absolutely, and frankly, what really strange and what amazes me, if you pay 3 KD, you can save a family, for 5 days. At least they will have water for 5 days. And if you pay 10 KD, they will have food and water for 5 days. So imagine, this is like
a whole week, if we can say. You can save it just by a little amount. And that is something, this is the essence of Ramadan. The Ramadan essence is the sharing. If you gave someone something to eat, it means that you are sharing the fasting that they are having. And that's the joyful and the blessings of this wonderful month. And I know that my guest, Madame Ghada, was really show us the amount a woman can take a burden, like a diplomatic wife, and also a CEO of an organization of ladies.
So imagine you are a wife of an ambassador, and so definitely you share the burden and more, because it's not only the outside the house, inside the house also you have to provide all the necessities.
We represent our countries wherever we are.
Absolutely.
And we represent our religion also, and Islam. And I think it's a wrap for today's episode. I hope that you would have a wonderful day and stay home. As Farid always says, don't go into the jam unless that is necessary.
Absolutely. I think that's it for us. Please, until the next episode, we wish you all the best and stay safe. Good day.
Bye-bye from all of us.